In this video, I'll show you the best Amazon KDP niches for beginners that are always profitable. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Sean. I've helped over 1,800 people make money with Amazon KDP. So if you want no BS advice from someone who's actually doing it, then make sure to subscribe. All right, so with that being said, let's go right into the video. What are the best niches for beginners? Because I get people asking me this all the time, right? Someone who's just getting started with KDP and they're like, Sean, what's the best niche for me to get into? You know, which niche is profitable? What do you think about this niche? I get those comments all the time. And the truth is, every single niche, or at least most niches out there, has the potential to make 10K a month or more. But that doesn't mean all niches are created equal. There are easier niches and there are harder niches. Okay, so some niches are easier than others. Now, generally speaking, you can categorize the books that we published in 3 categories, right? We have the low content books, the one at the bottom right here. And low content books are the easiest to make because it has the lowest amount of content inside. Oftentimes, these are blank line journals, planners, super easy to whip up with a bunch of templates online. A lot of people are doing it, and for that reason, you have the most competition. Now, if you move out to medium content books, you know, these are puzzle books, coloring books, different story books. It has more content inside. It takes a little more time, effort to create these books, and for that reason, less people are willing to put in that effort, so you have less competition, right? And for that reason, typically you make a little more money. And finally, we have the high content books. These are the non-fiction fiction books that has a bunch of text, a bunch of images, more content inside. It's the hardest to create, but usually lowest in competition, although you can make great money in all 3 of these categories if you do things right. With that being said, for this video, I want to focus more on low and medium content niches, because for high content niches, I actually have a video that I talked about that, the best high content niches. So, which is this video right here. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave a link to this video in the description below. So let's start with low content books, right? So like I said earlier, a lot of these low content books you can create for free. There are a bunch of templates out there. You just plug and play, and you just whipped up an interior. You just go to Canva, create the book cover, and you're done, right? So it's super easy to make. And because of that, it has the most competition, but it can be profitable when you do it right. And I think low content books has its place. If you're just getting started with KDP, and you just want to kind of test the water, you just want to, get your practice in, then I think this is a good way to start. You whip up some low content books. Even if you don't make a ton of money, you at least learn the process and get some, fundamentals going with Amazon KDP. So the big question is, what is the most profitable low content niches out there? Well, if you want to make money, you want to avoid creating blank journals, because blank journals are the easiest low content book to create. It's literally just copy pasting templates from Canva. And a lot of people are spamming this, right? So like I said earlier, you can do this to practice the steps for Amazon KDP, but if you're trying to make money, you're probably not gonna make a lot of money from this, because so many people are publishing these kind of books and there's really no way for you to differentiate. A lot of people publish these books with the wrong mindset. They think, oh, if one book makes, let's say, $100 a month, that means I have to publish 10 books to make $1,000 a month, 100 books to make $10,000 a month. And they think every single book makes the exact same amount, and it's just a matter of doing more to make more money. But that's not how it works, right? Not all books makes the same amount of money. This business is more about quality, not about pumping out as many books as possible. So what you want to do if you're going into low content, if you're going to publish journal books, you want to instead create higher content journals, right? So not just blank line journals or planners where there's nothing inside. Instead, you want to make something like guided journals, right? Where it has guided prompts and exercises that you can go and follow along. Log books, which also has more content inside. And these are a little harder to create, but that means it has less competition. So you provide more value because you have more content inside, which means you can price it higher, which is good for you because you can make more money per sale as well. And you can also niche down, targeting more specific people. Now, I talked about this in the high content niche video as well, but generally speaking, these 3 niches are considered the most evergreen niches that are always profitable. So the first one is the health niche, wealth niche, and happiness niche, because almost everyone's trying to get healthier, right? Almost everyone's trying to get wealthier, make more money, and everyone's trying to be happier. So this niche will never die off because these are human needs, right? No one's gonna not want to be healthier, wealthier or happier, right? So people are always gonna want it. Almost every single person on the entire planet wants this. So your market is essentially everyone. So what you can do is to apply the health, wealth, happiness niche into whatever category of books that you're publishing, right? So if you apply this to the journal niche as an example, you can publish something like a 75-day journal and challenge tracker, right? So we have This one, it might be kind of piggybacking off of the 75 hard challenge. I think it's called the 75 hard challenge, right? But you're not using the keyword 75 hard, so they're getting away with it. Kind of sneaky, kind of smart. Anyways, this book is doing $76 to $98 a day. And this is a health twist to the journal niche, right? This one as well, a health twist, which is blood pressure logbook. And this one is doing $40 to $54 a day. This is the wealth twist to the journal niche. We have monthly bill payment checklist. I don't know what it is about bill payment checklist, but it sells really, really well. I really have no idea why, but as you can see, it's doing really well, right? So $175 to $251 every single day just from this one book. And there's another bill tracker notebook that's doing around the same. So really killing it. So in terms of the happiness example, maybe not the best example, but we have this one, Route 66 travel guide, 202 amazing places. So this is a bucket list with logbook journal. So it's like a journal and you can check off where you've been and, kind of go through cool places. It has a list of it. So there's a lot of content inside. It looks like this. So since you're checking off bucket list, you're hitting the happiness niche, but also obviously the travel niche as well. Travel is happiness anyways, but this book is doing $55 a day. And as you can see, this book is selling at $19.95, which is a significant amount. You're making a pretty good royalty per sale for this. And that's because it has a lot of content inside. Like if you're just publishing a blank line journal, no way people are going to pay more than $5, which means you barely make any money per sale, right? But at $19.95, you're making a good amount. And these are individual book examples, but you can definitely build a brand around this, such as this brand right here, Hear Your Story. This brand does extremely well, but it's basically a guided journal where you pass between you and someone else, right? So there's a little bit of gifting element because you buy it for the person, but you kind of, do it together. So this one, Mom, I want to hear your story. You buy it for your mom. The mom fills out her life story. That's really cool, right? Dad, I want to hear your story. You buy it for your dad, right? So it's a guided journal, but you gift it to someone else. So they are doing over $226,000 a month at the moment. This is one of their bestseller, Mom, I want to hear your story. And this is how it looks inside. So it's just simple prompts, right? Per page and a little bit of journal sections and obviously and a quote at the beginning. So what's your birthday? What was your full name at birth? Were you named after a relative or someone else? I mean, these questions you can easily come up, yourself or using AI as, idea generation, and you can just put it together in a book. Now, they're not the only one doing similar books like this. So this is another brand, Questions About Me. So these are books that you buy for yourself, and it's kind of like I guess it's kind of like shadow work, a little bit of shadow work because you're asking yourself deep questions, but they also have books that you give it to, somebody else, just like the earlier example. Tell me your life story, Mom. Tell me your life story, Dad. And they also have variations of that. What I love about you, Mom. So this is a book that you fill out, but you buy it for someone else, which is a kind of a twist to the concept, but you can see that there's so many ways of doing this. And they're also doing $228,000 in revenue a month. So the big question is, how do you make these books? Well, the cool thing about low content books is once again, how easy it is to create. When I say easy, you still gotta work, but it's easier than other business models out there. But if you go to Canva and just search for guided journals, there's a lot of templates that you can get started with. Obviously, if you just copy paste it, you're gonna have the same interior as a lot of other people just copy pasting as well, which means your account could be in trouble for plagiarizing, duplicate content, stuff like that. So you can start here, but you want to obviously tweak it, right? Make it unique. But this is a great starting point. You can do the same thing with logbooks over here. Now, if you want to learn specifically how to make these kind of guided journals, then I actually have a video that I filmed in the past where I analyzed this brand and also showed you a quick tutorial on how to create these questions, right? And put it into your book. So if you want to check out this video, then the link is in the description below. So now we're moving into medium content books. So these books are a little harder to create, but with much less competition. You can use paid tools that only cost around 20 bucks a month to create a lot of these books, like puzzle books, especially because you have a lot more content inside. The customer gets more value from your book, which means you can price it higher. You make more money that way. And we can also try to apply these health, wealth, happiness angle to the medium content books. So typically when people think of medium content books and, puzzle books in that category, they just go for very generic, normal, straightforward, word search book. There's no theme applied to it, nothing, right? It's just a straight up large print word search book and it's doing good, 82 to 120 bucks a day, right? So you can definitely make money this way, but you can apply the health, wealth, happiness niche once again. So you can do a ultimate brain health puzzle book for adults, right? So now it's, crosswords, Sudoku, cryptograms, word searches. So it's still word searches, but now you have the brain health angle. So the content is pretty much the same. It's just the same word search books, right? But now you have this, oh, it's going to improve your brain angle to it. People want to improve their health. So that is one way for you to stand out. And this book is doing around $96 to $137 a day. By the way, I forgot to mention, if you're wondering how I'm seeing this number, I have a tool called BookBeam. You do have to pay a little bit, but it's really cool because you can see how much the book is making. If you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description. So that was the health angle, but now we have the happiness angle. The happiness angle is this one, cheer the F up word search. So it's a word search, but it's funny, right? It makes you laugh, makes you happy. It's doing $19 a day. We also have the health plus the funny happiness angle, which is brain games, useless information word search. So basically, it's going to improve your brain because it's brain games, but it's useless information, which is pretty funny, right? So this book is doing $22 a day, which is still solid. Now, word search book is not the only medium content book that you can publish, right? You can publish many other types of books. So these are memory games for smart seniors, kind of a health, niche angle to it. And this book is doing over $3,000 per month. Same as this one, memory activity book for adults. So this one book is doing over $10,000 per month. So coloring books are also medium content books. To be completely honest though, I don't know if this is beginner friendly because you can't really create these books yourself unless you're an artist, right? If you're an artist, if you're an illustrator, you can definitely create these books. But if not, you will have to outsource. The cost of outsourcing typically is going to be hundreds of dollars. You can't really use AI to create these books in trending niches like bold and easy, cozy niches. Those are what's trending, as you can see. But it's going to be a couple $100 that you will have to invest to create this. So if you're willing to do that, great. If not, I would recommend the other niches. It's just a little easier to create by yourself. And once again, if you're a beginner and you want to save on the production cost, if you're trying to bootleg your way of getting started with this business, that might be a better way. But just to kind of show you the health, wealth, happiness angle, this book is once again the happiness angle with coloring book, adult swear words coloring book, live, laugh, and F off, right? And it's doing hundreds of dollars a day. So once again, the big question is, how do you make these books? Well, if you're looking at word search and other activity books, then I do have a tutorial. You guys can follow along. I'll leave a link to this video in the description. It uses a tool called Bookbowl, which is an easy way to generate these activity books. You can do word search, Sudoku, maze, crosswords, and much more. In terms of coloring pages, if you don't know how to draw these illustrations yourself, you'll have to hire someone to do so. And if that's the case, these are some options. So this artist right here works with Coloring Book Cafe, one of the most successful coloring book brand, right? So you can see that he's really good. He actually does the cozy niche as well. So you can definitely reach out and work with him. This is another example of someone that's going to do it for you, $5 a page. This is another gig that's going to create these coloring pages that are in the style of what is working right now, right? So, you can go and reach out and start working with them. If you want to check out both of these gigs, then I'll leave a link in the description below. All right, so those were some niche examples and ideas on how you can get started with Amazon KDP if you were a beginner, especially if you're doing low and medium content books. Now, if you're just getting started and this is your first book, once your book is ready, the next step for you is to upload this book on Amazon and start getting reviews. If you need help with a tutorial video on how to do that, I'll leave a link to this step-by-step tutorial on how to upload your book to Amazon KDP so you can follow along and do that. And in terms of getting reviews, you want to make sure that you have a method of getting reviews that is compliant with the KDP guideline, because they recently did an update on their review guidelines. So if you want to learn the latest method on getting reviews, right? I filmed this video on the easiest way to get reviews. There is a very easy, very quick way of doing so. Once again, the link is in the description. And finally, if you're ready to take your Amazon KDP business to the next level and you want to work with me and my team of coaches, then I do have a complete Amazon KDP coaching program. It's the first link in the description. Once you click on it, it'll take you to a page like this. You can apply for a free strategy call and see if this program is a good fit for you. But we have students that are absolutely crushing it. We had multiple students hit over $100,000 in a single month recently. One of the students even hit $279,000 in a single month. And yes, this is not photoshopped. This is not a fake screenshot testimonial, nothing. This is a real testimonial that was posted in my private community of someone making $279,000 in a single month. It's just insane. And if you're wondering how much the profit was, over $200,000 was profit. And this was done with just 30 books. Once again, just absolutely insane, mind-blowing stuff over here. So if you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description, as well as all the tools and resources that I recommend also in the description below. Hopefully this video was helpful. So if it was, leave a like, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.